So John and I have quite a bit in common.
We do.
You have a military-looking haircut. I was in the military for 30 years. And we both grew up in the second best state in the United States.
Wisconsin. We probably grew up probably an hour apart from each other. And I grew up just northeast of Madison, Wisconsin. Our family farm but I was born in Green Bay, so I'm a Packer fan, just right up front.
Oh, we got one here, too.
We got one, yeah. We talked about that already. So my roots go back to Wisconsin. It's a dairy farm background, my wife too. I worked for Deere & Company for 18 years, and I had the opportunity to take different roles from engineering to business development and so on and so forth. And my last stop with Deere was actually here right after the flood in '97. I had the opportunity to join and be a business partner with a guy named Dan Gorder out of Grafton, North Dakota. And what we did is we created True North Equipment, changed the name, and we've grown since then. And we've been fortunate to grow and develop, and just as a John Deere dealer, our world has changed, and a few of you in the room, you know that. It's really evolved into a technology-based business. So we were fortunate to kind of create some ideas and do some things here at UND, and I'll kind of shut up as you ask me questions.
Yeah, but let's talk about True North. So there's got to be some symbology in the name.
So True North the name change happened around 2011, and we really wanted to focus on what's kind of our given values and where are we going as a company, and True North was a fitting name, and we've just kind of kept going that way ever since, and we have 10 locations and 240 employees. Fortunately, today I have a couple individuals that work on the project we're going to talk about that are here, and they're key to that technology journey. And I love the people I work with every day. You'll see me in a payloader, you'll see me assisting a technician, or working on strategy, or whatever it takes, or being here. And I think it's really a key part of even engaging in the community to be very, very relevant and understand the pulse of what's going on, both in the ag sector and every business that we're all in varied fashion. So appreciate being here.
Yeah, but the journey to get here, to Grand Forks, tell us a little bit about some of the steps along the way through Deere and others.
So, I started out in Minneapolis, and I went right out of college with an ag engineering degree. I actually started in dairy science. I was going to milk cows. That was my game, And engineering, I had an influence from one professor that switched me to engineering, and it was really kind of a wake-up moment. And in my six moves from Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, North Dakota, Iowa, back here, whatever it was a journey of kids in different states and a lot of different aspects of engineering and working on machines that were going to come to the market. And there was always this technology piece in my head. And we were fortunate to grow and develop and create a team that is very relevant in this ag space today.
Yeah, and so you've seen kind of the evolution of John Deere itself.
Yes.
So when you think of big combines and tractors, you think of heavy metal and digging stuff. But it's much more than that, right? It's all about the advanced technology.
And if you think about it, in 1989, a combine was $150,000. Today, in December of 24, we hit over $1 million just to buy one. And it's more than that, actually. But that's kind of the baseline on the most advanced combine. So the journey and the advancement in those machines has changed, and tractors alike and so forth. So it's really a game changer. And if you read about Deere, they really talk about being a technology company, and it's really evolving. So that's where you have to go, and that's what you have to do. And you have to be very relevant with the customers that are in this business to win it.
Yeah, for sure. I do know that the journey to the connection with UND took some time to unfold. And John and I spoke by phone last week, and it's an amazing story.
He was trying to record it, too, at the same time, but it was kind of funny.
Wiretap laws prevented that, though. Yeah.
But back in one of the first UAS summits, myself and George Guerrero, who was leading Northrop Grumman at the time, and Bill McDonald, and Mike Friedloff knows this really well, we got together and started talking, and we created a joint venture at that time, and we went about 3 years with that project. And what we did was way ahead of the game, but it set the stage for what we are doing now. And that was, we were going to fly unmanned missions, and we were going to scan fields, we were going to check stand count of crops, we were going to look at early disease characteristics, and we were doing all this. We had another partner in it, Centera, and we were doing a lot of things, and we were flying some manned and unmanned missions. And the leadership, George retired and things, and funding changed, and Mike knows this well, and direction shifted. But one of the things we both felt was needed was some kind of local connection around taking the data from something up in the air and getting it to a sprayer on the ground, and the data science behind that, and the horsepower. And we went like 13 years. And I tried very hard to engage people around how UND could be relevant. And as you commented, leading the herd, we were leading the herd in this. And during COVID, there was an individual that I did 2 A2I discussions remotely, virtually. And Chris Nelson had me in this, and it was, how could we turn it into something else? And it was a lead-in at UND to go from just talking to be actionable. And what we came up with was a joint agreement where I paid half of 4 grad students' pay, and UND funded the other half. And I put the individuals at the table we have here, Joe and Chris, to lead the team on our end. And what came about was a creative way of looking at creating a return on investment calculator. And what that means to us in our business is if we can show a producer how much you can save, the cost per acre is reduced, all of these different factors and inputs that come off machines. So when I say that, we would actually have data stored from a customer's machine in the John Deere Op Center. We have anomalized data coming off of similar machines around the country and the world. And we may have a demonstration machine in the same field with that producer. And we could show that person, here's what it's doing in the whys. And when we did that, and we started working on it, we partnered with John Deere with roughly anywhere from 4 to 6 people in the background to give us the data access to create something good. And Chris, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 2 August ago, was it 2 August ago, that we did a presentation, and we were able to have the students present this to the team at Deere and the UND team and show an operating functional calculator. And it was based on combines. And then we want to go, well, we want to do planters, we want to do sprayers, we want to do tractors. And as this evolved, we had more discussions with UND, and we had more discussions with Deere, and just this last few months ago, we actually met with them again, and our team was present, and just by coincidence, one of the individuals, one of the students showed up, Ifiok, and he was able to do a live presentation as a grad student in front of these Deere people and show the value as a student, and our team was able to live, breathe it, and show it. And Deere was like, wow, there's something here. And what we have now is a growing, and Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, we have to build the agreement, and we have to identify key players in the development, not only of what we have been working on, this calculator, but Deere wants to present other things that can be viable to them and values to the students in the university and businesses alike. And so it's been a long journey, and it has had its levels of frustration, and I'm totally mind-boggled by when they talk in a room, I can't understand most of it, right? Because it's code and it's all of these things. But when I think about what opportunities each of you have in your businesses to reach out, there is just a certain energy here that can solve and do. And the collaboration of the students that we have, we're blessed to have them. And what's cool for them and for the university is they were like ready for the career. I mean, I guess Deere could have hired that person right then and there, right? Or I could hire them, or any of those. And they got a real world experience. And Chris and Joe and the other Chris can attest to that, Chris Kuznia, that was the experience. And if you find that you have a challenge in your world, just seek out that, ask questions about it, because it was a minimal cost when you think about paying for a portion of their wages or salary, but the results were really cool.
Yeah, talk about a return on investment.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
To partner with UND and our students, and we have now 15,000, did I say this? We have 15,844 of them ready to support you as well. But this is an amazing story, and for you to have the perseverance and the vision about how student work and faculty work can contribute to your area of business, it's really commendable. So well done. We're really proud of all that you mean for our community. And I'll say this, John is one of the first people I met when I came to Grand Forks, and his leadership both on the EDC board and in many other areas. And I've commented on the military connection. John is an amazing supporter of our North Dakota Guard and hosts visits with them and promotes their leadership in our communities as well as anyone. So thank you so much. I think you have one final closing comment or question.
So I maybe would pose to you, what avenues could this crowd, these great individuals have to get somewhere with UND and not realize today that it's existing?
Yeah, so it's a great question because you probably were searching for those touch points and thankfully you stumbled across them.
And you'll have a shorter route than I did.
Right, exactly. You can talk to John to find out how he did it, but the right way to do it is engage. If it's, for example, internships with students, we have our Center for Experiential Learning, Chelsea Mellentine, who I don't know if she's here, she's a great conduit to speak with about internships. You can speak with any of our deans. They might have projects that connect to your business areas. Certainly, our Center for Innovation, if you're contemplating a startup, is a great connection point. But the best place to go, the single best place, right? Pull your pens out, here it goes. It's und.edu, that's the easy part, you know that, /idea, the word idea. And there's a whole listing of the right points of contact to engage, whether it's entrepreneurial startup activities or partnerships for internships or hiring, career placement. Those are all there, und.edu/idea. So
Very
John,
good.
hey, thanks so much for being here.
Yes.
How about a round of applause for John Oncken?
Thank you.
Amazing leader. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great
You
to
bet.
see you.
You bet.